Okay, so jeez.
Set off fireworks in a sewage drain.
Faster.
Oh wow, it looks like you crashed. Bam. Eee, I saw that.
What? What is it? What? Oh, it's recording. Stop recording. Okay.
Wait, are we getting live streamed again?
Yep, we are live streaming. So this will go on the blog for you guys to use later, if you need to. What we're going to be using is a program called Idle. So if you go on your PyTop, and you go to that little dashboard thing, in the bottom right corner there's something like a little square, it almost looks like a calendar. Click on that.
Oh yes.
Bottom right corner. See the calendar looking thing? Yeah. Click on that. Oh, you opened up Gmail. Go back to it. Okay. Okay, and then scroll down until you see something that's Python in the middle.
Oh, using the idle?
Yeah. For if you're on a Windows computer, push start and then just type in idle, like IDLE. And run that.
Is that what you do?
Alright, I'm so I don't see it.
On Windows.
I was so confused.
I don't see it.
You're not on Windows.
No, but on that example, it was
Oh.
like
Wait, that's like.
Alright, look, everybody come here. See that? That's what you need.
Oh, that. Look it. Look it.
Huh?
Look it.
Yeah. Go click on it. Whenever you click on it, let me know. What's up? You have to scroll down.
So once you set it, you'll
Okay. And you should get a window that looks kind of like this, right? Does everybody see that?
Yes.
You guys list, Jamie? Do you see that? Well, you can maximize the window.
Well, look, it increased in time. Oh no, it's going down.
Okay.
It's going
So you guys, I think you have 3.4, I have 3.6, but they're close enough. So if you want to grab a different chair, just move that one somewhere else and use a different one. Okay. Anyways, so you guys remember this? Yeah. What data type is that? Integer. Okay. What about that one? What's that data type? Float. Good. What about that data type? What is that? Boolean. You're on top of this, Seth. Okay.
I was doing it on this one.
So if I say,
But I don't. So call it the same thing you already are, and then add it under.
okay, is it going to print hello friend on the screen or not? No? You guys are so good. Alright. What about this?
It'll be hard to remember, so this is the part we use game. So let's all open our game.
Yes.
That's good.
Alright, is it going to put that on the screen? Is, you can say, a variable. Okay. No, y is true. And so you can say if y.
It's creating functional doors.
Okay. What? What does it want?
Disconnected, reconnecting. Oh yes,
Modern technology.
This is why live streaming is good. This is why live streaming is good.
Let me see if it's still going. What?
What? Wait, I thought. Oh yeah, that makes sense. We have no internet here.
Exactly.
Oh.
Hey, type something. You type something on
Wait a
Scratch. I mean, not
second.
Scratch. How do you delete it? Just press delete. Or backspace.
We were told that there was no internet, but there clearly is.
Because like try typing in something.
Hang on. Gonna turn off the screen for just a second, guys.
So go to the technical
Okay.
various characteristics.
Very carefully.
It'll list the properties
Okay.
that you want.
Oh, never mind. There we go.
We are
Or Chevy.
back online, my dudes.
Chevy? Oh no.
Right. Let's try to keep other conversations to a minimum. Alright, so we know what booleans are, we know what floats are, we know what integers are. Now, we're going to cover something called iterables. So you guys are all going to want to pay extra attention to this, because it's a little bit complicated. Not super bad, though. How many fingers do I have?
5.
Okay, so I want to write code that wiggles each of my fingers.
If you just do finger equals
Hang on. Nope. Questions at the end. Okay. So what I did is called iterate. I iterated over each finger in my hand. So my hand is called iterable because it has multiple things inside it. Okay? There are different items inside an iterable. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Python has something called a list, which is another data type. A list is iterable. Can anybody guess why?
So once we've got our door and
Celeste?
because there's files inside of it.
But once you have your characteristics, copy out your door function.
No. What were you going to say, Ruben?
Because
There's things
There's things inside of it, yeah. And lists can change size. You can add as many things as you want to them. You can take things out of them. And the way you make a list in Python is you say list equals, and that gives you an empty list. Okay?
Why did you type 1 for list?
That's an L.
It is?
Yep. 1 L. The 1 is slanted. So, but if you want to have a list that's not empty, okay, now the list has 2 things inside it. One is 5, the other is 2. You separate them by commas. Everybody good with that? Sweet. Yeah, if you take a bite. Actually, are you able to wait just a bit? Like, can you wait?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what we're going to do is as another kind of control flow. We're going to use something called a loop. And what a loop does is it runs the same code many times. But specifically, we're using a for loop. For item NL.
Can I use the mouse? Or can I use the mouse?
You use this mouse.
Okay, when you created your
Correct. So we're going to print item times 2. So if we look at this code, right? How many items is inside our list? Are inside our list?
2.
2. What are the items?
5 and 2.
5 and 2. So this syntax right here, this is a variable called item. And what it's saying is, for every thing inside this variable, which is our list, or it can be any iterable, but for now we're just using lists. For every item inside L, we're going to run this code. So the first time we run this code, what do you think item is? Hands. I haven't heard from Daniel yet. What do you think it is? Number 5? And what about the second one? Yeah. What do you think the second item is going to be? No, that's the name of our list variable. Whenever we run this code the second time, what do you think that value is? Right there. 2. Good. So 5 and 2. So let's have a look. Oh, but notice, we're multiplying it by 2 here. Okay? So what do you guys think is going to show up on the screen? Raise your hands. Celeste? 10? And Jamie, what after that?
Here's a picture.
Daniel, you want to help her out?
It's 4 because the first one would be 5 times 2. The second one would be 2 times 2.
Does that make sense, Jamie? Not really?
I get it.
You get it? What isn't making sense so far? Why it would be 2 times 2 after? Well, how many items are inside our list? 2? What's the first item? So the first time it shows 10, right? But you got that. Now the second time, we go to our second item, which is what? 2. Is that good? Alright. So let's run it and see.
So basically, this trigger area is basically where the player goes to make the door open.
Look at that. Now, what you cannot do is if you change the value of item inside the loop, like if you change just item equals 3, it does not change it inside this list. Okay? So if I come in here, let's say for item in L, item equals 100. Okay? It's still 5 and 2 inside our list. Does everybody understand that? Because it's just making a copy of the item inside the list. Yes?
How would you add things to the list?
Add things to the list?
Yeah.
Good question. You type L.append 20. And now 20 is the last item in our list. Everybody good with that? Awesome. Any questions? Okay. Lewis, if I do this, how many times is that print statement going to run? Once? Why do you think it's once?
So let's go to the entities tool. So let's keep that marker there, and let's go to the entities tool.
Oh, that's an L, not a 1.
And the game type we're going to want is filter underscore activator underscore TFT.
Can everybody see the TV okay, or do I need to like change the angle?
No.
So
It does look like
filters
Huh?
are
It does look like yeah. It still looks like
Got any ideas, Lewis? No? Well, what is L?
So
I'm not sure. Switch them.
I need to make sure you're paying attention, okay? I'll go over this with you in a minute. Yes. Damon, Seth, or Ben, would one of you guys go with them to the background? You'll go? Thank you, Damon. Okay. So, Lewis. Okay. So, L is a list. A list has multiple things inside of it. In particular, L has 5, 2, and 20 items inside of it. How many items is that? Huh?
27.
How many things are inside the list? How many numbers do you see on the list?
3.
3. So there's 3 items inside the list. Okay. So what this code does is whatever is inside the parentheses here, or after the colon, it runs this code one time for every item inside this list. So once again, how many items are inside our list? 3. What are they?
5, 2, and 20.
Good. So how many times is this code going to run?
3 times.
3 times. Good. So if I run it, what do you think the first time it runs is? What value is item going to have? 5. Good. What about the second time?
2.
What about the third time?
20.
Good. So run it, and there we go. Does that make sense? Alright, so you're all caught up. What I want you guys to do is make a list in idle, and then make, we'll wait till Damon and Ruben are back. Okay, so what I want you guys to do in idle is make a list with 10 items in it, and make a print statement that does some math with each of those items. Everybody good?
Wait, do what?
Make a list with a few items inside it, however many, more than 3, less than 20, and do some math with it and output the result on the screen. Okay? And just to recap, you use print to put things on the screen. List on a pen, yes. Or you can just make it all at once with the comments. Okay.
And then you can close it. We never need to open up this filter again. Then once you've created that filter, you name
What's up?
it.
Okay. Does everybody know what they're doing so far? Okay. Ruben, what you do is you make a list with more than 3 items and less than 20. And you do some math with every item on the list, and you output it to the screen. Okay?
So we never actually type this trigger in, so let's do that basics. So remember the control key or the